Hello, and welcome to the Cap Ball Saloon, a firearms industry-focused podcast talking about two-way marketing in the digital age. I'm your host, Anders E.T. Herzberg. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the Lima 6 website. Myself and Jason J. Green sit down to do a first look at the website lima6.com. After that, we'll show you the worst possible sales flow I have ever seen from an FFL local to us. In this episode, you'll see some of the tools and ways that we approach SEO audits for websites. We look at the goals and purpose of the website, what basic issues we find, and some suggestions for changes that we would implement in this raw, off-the-cuff episode. Please note, we do not have any business relationship with Lima 6. At most, I follow them on Twitter. We just think that an affordable belt-fed AR-15 is cool and want to see this product come to market. So, if you're looking for tips to improve your website, grab a pen and paper as we do an initial breakdown from the leadership at Cap & Ball. But first, a word about us. Cap & Ball Digital Strategies is a two-way focused digital marketing agency founded to help FFLs and others catering to the two-way space grow and deal with the complex world of digital marketing, offering services from organic search marketing, email marketing, social media management, and more. We want to help your 2A business succeed. So if you are an FFL, gunsmith, or serve the 2A community, visit capandballseo.com to learn more about how we can help you grow your bottom line. Okay, so this is the Reddit thread that first brought this to my attention.
What's the subreddit that it's in?
So gun store workers
specifically.
Oh, okay. So basically just... This is Harvey from Lima 6 asking, is anyone good at SEO? There's kind of some back and forth here, but...
What's the date on this?
This is about 4 months ago.
Okay, cool.
So with the back and forth, I mean, being in this particular subreddit, there's really not a whole lot that got that was too terribly useful, just really boilerplate stuff.
Okay.
And looks like... bot was attracted to this.
Is there anyone claiming to be an SEO offering advice?
Like one here, this David Roberts.
Oh, okay. Let's see this.
Mostly it was just like playing with the design.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, not a whole lot too terribly useful there.
Mm-hmm.
But to kind of give you an idea of where Lima 6 is at right now in terms of like their product offerings.
Okay.
This is from March 31st of this year, and they are basically at the first version prototype stage and getting ready for pre-production run of about 10 units.
Okay.
For beta testing and marketing. So they're hoping to have full production in this year. Want to release as soon as possible, but I know I only have one chance for a first impression. This is going to be a game-changing upper receiver, so it needs to be perfect. So I think they're going to be doing a good job with that, taking time, not rushing the product to market. Or
managing expectations.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I thought we would kind of go through the website itself.
Let's
take
do
a
it.
Look at it.
Cool.
I have kind of one of the checklists that we've used in the past.
Sure.
As you're sitting in the background.
Let's do it.
That we can use here as well. But the website's super small.
Okay.
So basically we have kind of the home page here.
Mm-hmm.
And go here. So just some basic information about the upper itself, glamour shots.
Tell me when you want me to critique anything that I come across. Right at this point, my only critique is design, essentially. But,
like obviously we have issues with the header here.
Document structure, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Could use some help.
Actually, let me pull that up here real quick. So looking at here, I know the website's WordPress powered from what I saw. There is Yoast SEO on the back end for plugin, but
which means
I mean doesn't mean a whole lot.
Sure.
I didn't see anything like too terribly crazy, but I did notice in one of the reviews that I was doing is that number of the pages are missing H1 headers.
Sure.
So yeah, like this right here, that's an H2 instead of being an H1.
Do they have their name up there as the H1, or is there just no H1?
No, that's just, yeah. There's just no H1 at all.
So in terms of document architecture, then I would consider that to be a poorly formed document.
Yeah.
Those header designations are important for kind of disambiguating and assigning importance to certain text segments. So.
Yeah. So design standpoint, obviously that changing
that's
this,
from an SEO standpoint.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. And a design standpoint. Well, you can manipulate the design however you want and keep that code structure intact. So this is an SEO issue, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. But the website's not super big.
Sure.
Just kind of a handful of pages, and that's it. So, homepage here, and then the who we are page.
Mm-hmm.
This I noticed has the same kind of issue. It's H2 tag instead of being H1.
So this is throughout the site, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, like all of these top level headers are just H2 from what I was seeing.
Okay. So that's their page template. They're just.
Yeah, the main website, newsletter, who we are, and FAQs are all missing H1 tags.
Oh.
According to the streaming fraud report that I did. But we can look at that in a little bit more detail later.
Sure.
This is just basic information about, company itself.
Mm-hmm. From an SEO standpoint, this needs to be a much more robust page. Do they have a page that deals with the actual personalities behind the company at all?
Not really.
Then that's where I would treat that would be on this page here. And
this right here is all of the background information or anything that we have on the website itself about Harvey and Lima 6 and everything. And if we go to, there's an FAQ page here, and accordion, not bad, works well enough, but I don't think this should probably have. I don't think I saw any schema markup or anything for FAQ questions or anything like that in here.
Sure. Some kind of microdata that lets you know, or lets the search engines know that this is an FAQ and to pay attention to it like that.
Would be in here. DNS prefetch.
Well, I mean, it would have been announced in the head. That there was microdata to pay attention to.
Yeah,
for most standards, that would be.
Now, but I don't see any call outs or anything for schema markup or anything like that.
Sure.
There's just site is optimized with Yoast.
Okay.
So
what do you think about this FAQ page?
I think the information itself is good. Cost, this is actually really good. If we're shooting around $2,000, $2,500 for final production price on this, I think that makes it incredibly competitive.
Okay.
Especially when the nearest competition to that is probably it's sitting around $5,000. That's an incredibly good selling proposition. The tagline "making belt feds affordable" is really good.
Okay.
I think that's something that will catch people's eye and is a good selling proposition. efficient for something that's normally thought of as being really expensive and kind of out of reach.
How out of reach? It was something like that normally.
Well, you're probably looking at what?
So if I have an AR-15 and I want it to be belt fed, how much is that going to cost me generally?
For just the upper, like what I was showing you earlier, that's like $5K.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're trying to come in around $2K on their price point?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, so I think
making belt feds affordable is perfect.
Yeah,
for that.
It's the mission statement. Yeah. It catches somebody's eye. And if you're looking at a complete like semi-automatic belt-fed firearm, those are prohibitively expensive for most people because you're probably talking about. I haven't looked at pricing on those things in quite a while, but the last time when I looked, I think they were around $8 to $10K for a full semi-automatic belt-fed style.
I see.
Firearm. So this.
That's a big difference.
Oh yeah, huge.
Is this a efficient manufacturing or something that's allowing them to do this, or how do you think they're able to come in at a price point so much more competitive?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't have enough technical background in engineering or anything like that to.
We should look into that a little bit at some point. That'd be interesting. All right, let's go through the rest of the FAQ then. Let's just kind of breeze through it. And I'm just curious I want your input on each of these things to how it strikes you, because you would know much better than I.
Yeah. So the M27 links, this is pretty standard for belt fed. So that's another point for the accessibility. Okay. Quick change barrel. Yes and no. The first Lima 6 upper receivers available will not have a quick change barrel. They'll work with standard AR-15 barrels. However, future versions of the Lima 6 will be available with a quick change barrel. This on like a semi-automatic isn't all that important because quick change barrels are specifically to help mitigate heat buildup.
I see.
And swap them out so you don't overheat and completely ruin the barrel or anything like that. But with forced reset, binary triggers, stuff like that, this could be important. So this is a good point for people to keep in mind. Magazines, this is kind of self-explanatory. Yeah. It's either belt fed or magazine fed.
Sure.
Obviously you're going to want like one or the other. Mm-hmm. So, but for somebody who's like just coming in completely new, I think this is a good information point for them.
Sure.
And then modifications to the lower receiver, no permanent changes, just a few parts being swapped out, which relatively straightforward.
Okay.
And then do Lima 6 upper receivers work with binary triggers?
What does that mean?
So binary trigger is a trigger that fires on both the pull and the release.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And then forced reset trigger that forces the trigger forward, and you just kind of hold down on it in order to achieve simulated semi-automatic or full auto fire, excuse me.
Right, that makes sense. Okay.
And then Lima 6 upper receivers compatible with full auto and semi-auto AR-15 lowers.
Sure.
And then, legality, obviously belt fed, completely legal at the federal level. Some states have restrictions, and then where can you purchase? And that's, obviously they're not committed to a release date just yet. Sure. Now, this actually brings me to a big point that I almost immediately noticed on this. Mm-hmm. The whole purpose of this website should be getting people to sign up to this newsletter and waitlist.
100%.
And I have to go to this page right here, which is the last in the row before I see this form. This form should be sitting on the home page, like top dead center.
Should be a call to action on every single page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this page right here should be the primary focus of this website.
Sure.
Getting people to sign up, getting people on that wait list and interested, that gives you the direct access to their inbox.
Absolutely.
You don't have to worry about necessarily social media, putting stuff into their feeds or anything like that.
Right.
You can say, hey, I have a new promotional video or a new progress update or whatever ready to go.
Right.
And
there's your opportunity to build a community around your product before it's released. Yeah.
Exactly. And that lets you build interest, get people checking things out, and without you having to worry about the algorithm on a social media channel.
Absolutely.
Feeding them that content.
And your mailing list you own. That comes with you. You're not dependent on some third party to deliver that for you. So it's vitally important, actually.
And as far as online stuff, he's much more active on Twitter. Actually, let me see here. Yeah, so quite a few followers, 4.3K, which is pretty good.
Considering the narrow.
Yeah. But Instagram, I think that this is kind of a missed opportunity. Stuff about belt feds and things like that. I could easily see blowing up on, gun Instagram.
Sure.
And then...
but you don't see anything like that on their Instagram, is that what we're saying?
No, this is the Instagram. Right now it's just completely unused. And
this is a huge missed opportunity. Yep. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Missed opportunity.
I agree completely.
And then YouTube channel, obviously, there's only so much that, can be shown off and done.
Sure.
While things are in, pre-production, things like that. But, some of this stuff could be repurposed for, additional, shorts videos and things like that.
Absolutely.
Because things could be, remixed or, create new versions of things and just get a drip feed of content going that, potentially could get shown to someone who has no idea Lima 6 exists.
Definitely.
So I think if we go into, let's see, take a look next, I think, at a full screaming fraud report that I pulled up here and put together.
All right.
So let's see here. Directives, index, this comes up as a warning, but these are pages that shouldn't be indexed anyway. My account reset page, or account password reset page. So that's all fine.
Sure.
Same thing with that, and then canonicalized. Blocked by robots. I didn't see any issues with this. Larger images. So these guys here. These images could be compressed down because they're 3.2 megabytes, 2.5 megabytes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, only a couple of them are properly sized.
Even those properly sized ones seem a little
heavy.
Those images need to be compressed drastically.
Yeah, and there are plugins, since he's on WordPress for the backend. There are plenty of plugins that'll just
plugins to handle everything he could ever need done on there. No coding required.
That's the really nice part about WordPress.
Absolutely.
But a simple image compression plugin could take these down and improve the website speed and load times, because right now, those are making this website heavier than it needs to be. Granted, it's already a pretty light website in terms of, its load times and everything, but it could be better with these images being optimized.
Yeah, I agree completely.
And then, we kind of already touched on the H1 tag issue there.
Document architecture needs some help, yeah.
Yeah. And then low content pages, kind of the whole website is just these few pages, and they're all low content pages.
It seems like less of an issue on a website like this.
Yeah.
Worrying about some low content penalty or thin content penalty.
Yeah, it's not like there's, product listings that or anything like that on here just yet.
Right.
I mean, the whole purpose of this website at the moment should be just collecting those emails and getting points of contact for potentially interested parties.
It should literally just be landing pages that drops people into that form.
Yeah. And then, page title below 30 characters,
Yeah, I don't care about any
below
of that,
200 pixels, Oops.
I never really found myself paying attention to a lot of that, except in terms of what's visible to the searcher. That's all I'm really concerned with.
Missing content security policies.
What policies are they talking about here?
This is for, what is that? Security policy headers and missing secure refer policy header. There are plugins that can help with this as well. Again,
sure.
Just getting it set up. These security policy headers are kind of a pain in the butt sometimes to get set up.
The no refer when downgrade, or is that what they're talking about there? Yeah. And what's the one above it?
Content security policy header.
There we go. All right. Yeah.
X-type content options and X-frame options. These are kind of just security things that aren't super important or anything. At least not right now.
And not really even for a site like this in general. But
well, I mean, once the site does move to a position where it's going to be collecting orders and things like that.
That won't be this website, though. That'll be the...
You'd recommend something different?
Well, I would recommend a do-over with, or a launch of the full website, essentially.
Right.
It'll be something that basically completely replaces this website, which should be just the landing pages that drops people into that waiting list. In my opinion, obviously, it needs to be informational pages, stuff like that. But the purpose of the site, as you stated, needs to be to funnel people into that waiting list.
Yeah. But like I was saying, this stuff would be like for version 2 of the website when it's actually more of an e-commerce website.
As soon as transactions are happening on the website, really sensitive data, things above and beyond name and email, then absolutely you should address any security concerns that come up.
Let's see here. And then missing alt text. I mean, images, these could have like actual descriptions to
That's
them.
A big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it disambiguates what those images are and helps place them, contextually and semantically and within the document. And then they can make an evaluation of whether or not it's appropriate or comparable to competing pages, stuff like that, in the sorting algorithm. So I think alt text is a big deal. I always make sure to address that. It's a big deal.
Well, also, since this is a new product, that does also help to disambiguate it from, other, belt-fed types of ARs or firearms or things like that. Because I'm sure Google's image recognition would at least pick up on the fact that it's a belt-fed something, I would think.
If they use image recognition at that stage, it really doesn't even matter. If the image is of their product, then that alt text needs to say the name of their product and what that is.
Yeah.
If it's of somebody using their product, it needs to be man firing, our product at the range or whatever it is.
So like...
They need to say in the alt text. Alt text is important.
Yeah, so like this should be,
It's an opportunity to improve the relevance of your document. So you should always use it, I think.
So this should be like Lima 6 belt-fed complete rifle.
Yes.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Maybe even more detailed than that, but yes.
Yeah. Left side view showing.
There you go.
Belt attached. Yada yada yada.
Yes. Agreed. That's the way to go.
And then going back here.
Mm-hmm.
Internal outlinks with no anchor text. So there's like...
So their internal link architecture needs some help, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like...
How many pages are on the website total? actually?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's
Okay.
like 6 in total. Like this
Again,
is a
until
tiny
it's the complete website, this is probably less relevant because, this website could certainly benefit from ranking for, a long tail version of the belt-fed keyword to drive search traffic to the waiting list. I don't know how much of a factor the internal linking will be in terms of determining those rankings. Really, I mean, it'll be some factor, but in a website this size, it's not going to be that big of a deal, I would think.
Yeah, it's not like there's
nothing's hidden or lost. There's not orphaned pages, hanging somewhere that can't be accessed. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Then meta descriptions missing from all of the main pages.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. Like that's something that the user is going to be seeing at like the search
Absolutely.
engine level. Like they should have some kind of an idea of the link that they're clicking on, and you don't want Google just deciding what they think it should be. These need to be here.
This is your opportunity for your first impression, your first advertisement for your organic traffic. This is it. This is your opportunity right here, the title and the description, because that's going to help determine what comes up on the SERPs,
Yeah, these should be,
it should be a good advertisement. Yeah, that's right.
Sign up now,
Absolutely.
Learn more, that kind of thing. Like these should
needs to be a well-developed description. Yeah, that's very carefully worded.
And then a couple of the pages, the home page and who we are has multiple H2 tags floating around on it.
Okay. I don't know. In these documents, no, but there's some documents where that could be justified.
Yeah.
There's never a justification for more than one H1, but, well, almost never.
Yeah.
I'd be more concerned if it was multiple H1 tags than that.
Yeah. I mean, H2, this is fine. This is kind of a meh.
Yeah, agreed.
And then response code, client error. It's like there's...
What's the status code on that?
400 bad request.
Oh, okay. What's going on there?
Looks like address x.com/Lima6. So I think that's the footer.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, there's something weird I think is going on with this.
Okay. Anyway, there's some kind of there's an issue with that response code that needs to be addressed, and we could dig into that with some more sophisticated browser plugins and stuff like that.
It's going somewhere, it's going somewhere weird.
Is there another hop in between the destination, or is it?
Well, URL index in JS.
Open that up. Let's see what that looks like.
Then,
is that where that link is? Is that the destination, or is that some kind of intermediary, or do we know yet?
I think this is a...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's referring to like...
Okay.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense, because that looks like a minified JavaScript file, but...
It's the minified JavaScript, yeah. The static minified JavaScript. So after it does when it does its static minification as part of the optimizing its page loads, it'll make a static, JavaScript file that it pulls from that's been minified, and that's what it looks like. It's referring to the something to do with that. I don't know without really digging into it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's pointing to something that's not there.
Right. Okay. So we can move on.
Yeah, no, not the end of the world, but
it needs to be addressed. Yeah.
So beyond like the streaming fraud report, the other bit that I was looking at was the backlink profile. So right now, the Hrefs is scoring the domain at a 0, and there's not a whole lot of backlinks here.
Where are the links from? SEO link.
Yeah, like your usual suspects that just kind of pick up websites, throw links at them, and hope and pray that maybe
they'll get something reciprocated or something like that.
Yeah, either that or like, oh, well, if you're paying attention to your backlink profile, maybe you'll click on my link to your website and buy backlinks from me. Never mind the fact that it'll completely get me banned off Google.
It might. Certainly could.
Royal SEO Hub.
Alright, so this is literally the usual suspects.
Yeah, no.
Anything other than that? Is there anything solid?
There is no, at least not in this list here.
Okay.
I was about to say that's the Reddit.
No.
But this is like I think this is some like Reddit feed or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Reallyawesome.me.
Yeah.
That doesn't even want to load.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yes. Not great on the domain ranking.
They could do some strategic press release stuff and collect all the backlinks that they would ever need for this website anyway, or this version of the website.
That was pretty much exactly what I was thinking, because I think they need to be, like, once the production units are ready and everything, or the pre-production units are ready,
sure,
should be sending them out to people who are going to write reviews,
of course,
do videos and articles, and I think that's already in the pipeline, but that's going to help this whole backlink profile. So, like, an article from the Firearms blog or something like that, linking directly to the website would be huge for helping build up this domain rating.
So who would be the usual suspects to send out your pre-production product to for testing? Who do they say they're going to make a couple of them? Who would they usually send something like that out to?
So I would think the best ones would be like the Firearms blog, as far as like proper websites.
Sure.
The Firearms blog and Forgotten Weapons would probably be the two that I would really want in terms of popular websites that are still, regularly active.
Sure.
I mean, there's probably other ones that I'm not thinking of.
Sure. I was just curious if off the top of your head there was a couple that stood out to you as, like those two.
Yeah, but those would be the two that I could think of off the top of my head as far as like regularly, actively updated websites that, are actually being currently created, because unfortunately the like Firearms blog kind of thing, there isn't as much of it around anymore as there used to be. So like a lot of that's gone more towards the like social media video kind of thing.
Sure.
And moved towards like the quote unquote gun tube.
Yes. Right. Okay.
But what I think that was kind of everything that I really wanted to go over.
So like I would disavow most of those links if I was them. I would and replace them with really great reviews of my amazing product from qualified authorities.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's kind of go through one of our checklists here and just kind of see what it's doing good and what it's doing bad.
Okay, I have a list here too that is based on some of our checklists. So what's the first on yours over there?
So this is an older one, but this is a older version of one of our checklists here. I don't think all of this will be applicable.
It's not.
But
some of this is outdated.
Yeah. multiple versions, uses targeted search phrases, not really applicable.
Yeah, well, I mean, they need their keywords that they're going for if they want to pull any search traffic into that mailing list.
Oh, no. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, they should have done full keyword research, but a while back, and implemented that on this website, but I don't believe that they have.
No, and I think, what was it, in this original thread, it was like thrown together in about 45 minutes or so.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. So, I mean, it's good. It's good for a start, and
but not SEO wise.
No. But this is,
and not as a landing page really either for their mailing list.
Nice, okay.
I know. I'm just going to be honest. So it misses the mark on its purpose a little bit.
It does.
And if they wanted to get more names on that list, there's some things they should do.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I'm not bashing them. Just being honest.
Yeah, true.
All right. A lot of these are.
Let's see.
Yeah.
E-commerce stuff we really don't have to worry about right now. Design stuff.
What about clear CTAs there? We need some clear CTAs on every single page on there.
Yeah, and I think that would fall back under my original point of saying there need this whole sign up thing right here needs to be front and center on the home page and every single other page like we were talking about before.
And it should be a widget that pops up, and when you're about to leave the website, if you haven't signed up already, it should be.
It should be like
it should assail you on this website, basically.
Yeah, if I'm mousing up here or moving away, then it should be like, hey,
wait before you go.
Yeah. I hate those pop-ups too. I really do. But
however, if you've got targeted traffic coming there for that purpose, it's going to be effective.
Yeah, exactly. And I would think that ideally the people who are viewing this website are people who are interested in a belt-fed AR-15 upper.
I would hope so. So we can skip the e-commerce stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Browser and robots, I didn't notice anything in the crawl that was like a issue.
I think it would be worthwhile to ensure that their robots.txt isn't accidentally blocking any folders or files, but other than that, there's just so few files to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Content. I think as far as like some of this stuff goes, check.
Yeah.
Typographical errors, USP.
Making belt feds affordable, absolutely.
That's your USP right there. That's what you need to drive home with all of the marketing materials and things like that.
Sure.
Navigation, headers, design-wise is wonky, but it's easy to navigate. I haven't gotten lost on this website or been like, what the heck do I do?
Sure.
Or how do I interact with anything?
Okay.
Contact information, stuff like that. That's pretty easy to find. It's at the bottom of the header here.
Sure. The footer.
Footer. Thank you. Yes. And I think the only other thing that I would say is I do not see like a Google business profile or anything like that for this.
Oh, okay.
And
I'd get on that.
6, I would put together a Google business profile.
Yeah.
Link that up with the website, and that'll help build out Lima 6 as a entity, if you will, online. Give it more credibility.
Sure. I hope they're using Search Console also so they can be alerted of any errors, stuff like that.
Yeah, he did say in the original Reddit thread here that it has been linked to Google Search Console, and a sitemap has been submitted as well.
Do you know if they have analytics on there?
Probably not.
Okay. That's a big problem.
I did not see anything that looked like
Analytics.
Google Analytics or anything in the head.
Or look for a Google tag, in there, anything. Tag manager.
Ecommerce. Yeah, no, I don't see any Google Analytics or any other analytics software in here.
That's probably the biggest problem that I've seen so far is how the hell are they going to keep track of what people are doing on there, what they've been successful at and what they haven't been successful at.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not measuring user interactions, seeing what they're doing on the website, are they clicking
how they get there, what the keywords do, I mean, this is a big deal. Yeah, okay. So I'd say that's a big one. No analytics. Just in general, WordPress websites are image heavy, JavaScript heavy, plugin heavy. There needs to be a lot of minification, compression, speed optimization stuff going on, just as a general rule. Even though the pages aren't that sizable at this point, it's still, they could be deeply optimized for speed. I mean, I bet the first paint on this page is probably pretty.
Actually, yeah, no, you know what? We could check that out.
I'm a big fan of, compression and content distribution networks. Content delivery networks.
Oh yeah, and was it Cloudflare has
I love Cloudflare.
CDN that you can plug in.
I really do like Cloudflare. They offer a bunch of great stuff.
Oh yeah.
Some innovative DNS stuff too.
Alright, let's see how Lima 6 fares. Need the Jeopardy theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on mobile, looking at, first content.
Oh, wow.
4.2 seconds.
For a website that is that thin, there is no reason. It should be lightning fast.
Yeah. And speed index. Let's see, what do we have here? What elements? What were we saying earlier?
Yeah.
That image, that is bogging this down.
Of course.
Yeah. Time to first byte is not too bad, but it could be a lot better.
And there's automated measures they can install in WordPress that would just take care of all this for them.
Yeah.
Unused JavaScripts. Yeah. Again, these are the bloat that comes along with WordPress.
Yeah, and this Stripe, I saw some mentions to WooCommerce in there, I think it was, which I'm not entirely sure why WooCommerce would be active and running right now.
I have no clue.
Because that's not the purpose of the website at the moment. So this can be just disabled at the very least.
They need to turn off some plugins at the very least,
Yeah, because
there's no justification for that.
Let's check out.
Yeah, look at all that.
Yeah,
turn off the shopping cart.
Yeah, this whole bit right here can be completely taken care of just by removing the JavaScript and
or disabling the plugin.
That's associated with it right now, because it's not doing anything for you, and it's just
dragging you down.
Yeah, it's just bogging down on the website unnecessarily.
Sure.
jQuery, static, vendors.
It's the same stuff.
Yeah. And images.
Yeah, of course. How big are those images?
These ones are, on mobile, they're a lot better.
Sure.
157 kilobytes.
Which is still way unnecessarily large, I think.
Yeah, these are better. They could still be compressed down though. And then, there's that static. There's another static reference here that seems to be having issues. So there might be like a Minify plugin or something that's not working correctly, or maybe just cached pages or something.
Maybe we'd have to kind of get in there and dig around to see.
Minify.
Whatever it is, it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No.
Again,
too crazy, but
these are elements that don't need to be there in the first place. Okay.
type node. I have to check and see what that is again.
Does not use passive listeners to improve scrolling performance. Again, not really relevant for that.
Yeah. This can be solved with lazy loading. So lazy loading has not been implemented here.
Okay.
And
it's an important point, actually.
Yeah, avoid serving legacy JavaScript to modern browsers. So, I wonder why there's legacy JavaScript getting served. That's weird. Oh, and it looks like it's that. I see Stripe again.
Yeah.
So again, unnecessary cart is there.
Yeah.
And let's see, desktop version. Desktop's a lot better. Like a lot better.
Mm-hmm. The only problems really are the images, is what it's saying. Yeah.
Images. Yeah, these.
Some unused JavaScript, unused CSS. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Clean up all that. Render blocking resources.
Okay, one thing I did notice. Mm-hmm. So these are small. These images are smaller, but my crawler, Screaming Frog, was getting much larger image sizes. So there might be something in terms of serving the proper image size.
Okay.
At least Google's getting the right one, but I don't think all browsers or all user agents are getting the right sized images.
I see.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Use JavaScript, yeah. Pretty much the same thing as what we were seeing. Yeah. So basically just most of this would be taken care of by disabling the unnecessary cart plugins for WooCommerce and everything.
Sure.
Get rid of that stuff and then just minify the images. And I think especially this mobile performance here, because Google's going to want to see your mobile website perform well. And
the mobile website is arguably the more important.
Because I mean, as much as I use my desktop,
sure,
I'm not normal. A lot of people are running around on their smartphones.
Almost everybody is getting their first contact on their smartphone.
Yeah, so this is very important, and this kind of like broken layouts and things like that also does hurt the user experience as well.
Definitely.
Not only is it slower, but it also hurts the user experience because they're looking at a website that is kind of sort of broken, and they're kind of wondering, well, should I trust this website?
Absolutely, it's a trust issue.
Yeah. And I mean, if
you're not willing to invest in buttoning up your website, then maybe you're not willing to produce the best product possible.
Yeah, if I was just finding this website by itself, I mean, I might be a little bit hesitant to, enter in my email and information here.
Sure.
Actually, this, since I'm thinking about it right now, this right here could be shaved down to literally just first name or just name.
Or just email.
Or, even just email. No, that would be better.
Personally, I would do first name and email. Or I would just say name, email, basically.
Yeah, name, email.
And I would test that against just email, probably.
Yeah, maybe do a little bit of an A/B test there.
Sure.
I mean, I like having at least a name field for contact management and things like that.
Sure, but if it means 25% aren't gonna sign up, then and which is often the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes more.
Yeah, but
that form needs a lot of love.
Yeah.
I would do a lot to that form. I would make that form sexy.
Yeah, and right now this is not sexy.
No. Okay. Which this is the primary mechanism of the website. That's the most important component, really. It needs to really do the job.
Yeah, and the fact that this is the most important piece of the website ultimately, and it's hiding here under a little thing that says sign up.
Yeah, that doesn't cut it.
No, like
that's not much of a call to action anyway.
No, it should be saying like find out when you can order, or get on the wait list, or
or join the community.
That would be better. Yeah, it should be something that,
and then publish a newsletter on it.
Yeah, that should compel action.
Absolutely.
And exactly, send out that at regular. Doesn't have to be like once a day or anything stupid like that.
Put everyone in a social media platform where they're able to talk to each other about stuff, discuss, content that you're putting out through the newsletter, put out some provocative content and get people talking about your product before it comes out. Build enthusiasm, build an enthusiastic community of people that are waiting for this thing to drop.
Yeah, and I mean, I should say that he has been doing a pretty good job of that with Twitter and his profile here. This is getting a fair amount of engagement. Like this poll right here from 2 days ago has 2.6K views on it.
Sure.
So that's decent enough engagement, but
if he was building a dedicated mailing list that's getting really focused content that's timed strategically, that engagement could be much more significant.
Yeah,
it could reflect a certain significant percentage of the list itself, basically, if you're directing them properly through your newsletter.
Yeah, and this is just one platform that's being taken advantage of.
Sure.
They're, like we were saying earlier, missing out on opportunities on Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube is a little bit neglected.
I'd give their social like a D-.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd give it a D-. Just think of Instagram. Just Instagram alone is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Anything that's going up as far as like media wise or photos or stuff like that should be going up on both Twitter, X, and Instagram at the same time.
And maybe even, dare I say it, TikTok.
Yes.
Yep.
TikTok's so annoying, but
it's so annoying. It's just literally the bane of my existence, but it's a necessary evil at this point.
Don't get me started about TikTok. I will rant and rave.
Anders despises TikTok.
No, I cannot stand dealing with it. They have the most I don't. Don't
start. Yeah, we get it.
But I don't understand how they have some features that you can only access on the app. Other features that are stripped out of their desktop client. It's a mess.
They want you on your phone.
Yeah, which is a problem because I don't want to be on my phone and I don't want to be scrolling like a stupid ass little zoomer.
Stop! You're a weirdo. The rest of the world doesn't operate like you.
True. But I think that was pretty much everything that I kind of wanted to go over in terms of auditing the website itself.
Sure.
I mean, obviously there would be, keyword research would need to be done in terms of what short and long tail keywords, what things are people searching for.
All their metadata needs to be done according to that. Their keyword research, they need to do, work on their page speed insights and stuff like that, as we've addressed in, the minifies and the image compression and whatnot. They need to document structure. Obviously, they need to do some work there, and I would expand the content significantly on each page. They need to do something with that call to action that's not a call to action that's hidden on a sign up page.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest problem.
I agree.
With this, first and foremost, just restructure if nothing else, just restructure this so that you have that sign up page, that email newsletter should be right here front and center, sitting next to a picture of this picture right here, if nothing else.
And a bunch of content that sells why they want to do that. Yes, I agree.
And I mean, these like points right here. Mm-hmm. These are good for more like nerdy people. Like 23% more bolt carrier travel than AR-15 patent pending. So to me, I get what's being said here.
Sure, but you're a gun nerd though.
Exactly. The layman, the person who's not as interested in the mechanics and the technology and the
but still appreciates something cool.
Yeah,
a ranged toy or something like that.
Exactly. Like somebody like me who watches on Forgotten Weapons all the time is going to find this incredibly interesting. Someone who's just interested in a belt fed because they either think it's cool, they think it's fun, or they think it might be kind of practical or something like that. You want those people
on your list too.
Exactly. And stuff like 23% more bolt carrier travel isn't really going to sell them. Same thing with like
satisfies a certain segment of the traffic maybe that you're pulling in, but the targeted traffic, but not everybody.
Yeah, like the nerds,
the Anders people.
Yeah, the nerds, the people who are interested in the technical stuff of like this is good for them, but
the people that read Glock's patents.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The weirdos like me who read Glock's patents. Yeah. They're the ones who are going to be interested in stuff like this, but your larger audience, the people who are going to move this from potentially a more niche product,
that's it,
to something that is a little bit more widespread.
That's it. You need to get that. That market.
Yeah, it should be speaking to benefits. What is it doing for them, and
selling how effing cool it is.
Exactly.
Just sell the sexy.
Yeah,
you need to have a lot of that in there.
Yeah, I mean it's a belt-fed AR-15.
It's pretty cool.
It is inherently awesome.
Absolutely. So sell it hard.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to be held back by sales points that are.
There's ways
really
of arranging
technical.
This information that satisfies everybody.
Exactly.
Making the one stand out to the one group and the other stand out to the other group. Everybody's happy. There's ways of doing that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the kind of thing that needs to be tweaked and refined as far as like the text and stuff on here goes, because
sure.
If for anyone who's just landing on this, their first thought should be, that is awesome. I want to know the second that it's released, and I want to be on that email list.
100%.
Right now,
and there's ways of doing that.
Yeah, this website's not doing that, but it could. I definitely
totally
think it could. Because an affordable belt-fed AR-15 is the kind of thing that should sell like crazy.
They've satisfied the hard part, making an awesome product. They've already satisfied that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And that's sexy, and that's saleable. They've done the hard part. Now just sell it correctly.
Yep.
Yeah. So I agree with you on that. I think they need to address also some structured microdata, stuff like that in the pages to maybe help disambiguate some content. That can help with some of the traffic targeting stuff they would run into as they expanded their search marketing campaign or their search optimization campaign.
Yeah, I think first things first, get that email form set up, get that front and center, tweak the marketing language on the homepage so that it's appeals to a little bit more people, and start building from there. Just as a start, this is a whole bunch. We've gone through like a whole bunch of different things that are somewhat technical, but at the very least, like that's the big thing that I would do first, is that email
and install some analytics so you know what you're doing and what's working.
Yeah, so
I agree.
If people are just coming and bouncing, or if people are even showing up at all.
Sure, and synchronize everything with your social media platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the big stuff.
Yeah, so I think that kind of pretty much wraps up everything that I wanted to go over and our thoughts here on the Lima 6.
Absolutely.
I think it's a really, really awesome product, and I think it can be incredibly successful. And
just put it in front of the right eyeballs.
Yep, and I think there's a lot of people that would be really, really interested in something like that.
No question. I agree.
And I think it's more than capable of selling itself. It just needs the right little bit of a push in the digital space to help it get there.
Totally. I agree. That's all I got.
Yep. Let's see here. Actually, I want to show you before we stop recording.
Okay.
Something I was talking about earlier. So this is local FFL here to us.
Okay.
And I want to show you probably the worst sales flow that I have ever seen.
No.
Ever.
There's such potential here.
Okay.
The most relaxed place to, I mean.
This place, I love their style. Like, this fits Nevada perfectly. They are, this is really
even
really
the location
cool.
Looks great.
Oh, yeah. No, this is beautiful.
The building and the interior, it's beautiful, yeah.
So, Wiley Brothers here.
Mm-hmm.
We won't do like a full breakdown or anything, but I just want to show you this because this is probably the worst thing that I have ever seen.
All right, show me.
Okay, so go to your online store here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have this whole wall of text, right?
Yes.
It's not even a buy firearms or browser selection or anything like that. It's literally just this little itty button that says view our online store. So if somehow, miraculously, I manage to click on that
and not be distracted by all those logos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then I end up here at galleryofguns.com.
Why?
Oh, it gets better.
Okay.
So standard basic age verification.
This is not a company they own or...
No. This is
not
completely... This is a third-party website. So I'm going to look for a Ruger RXM from Wiley Brothers.
Okay.
So, handgun.
So you're having to use an external search now, a search external to their website to accomplish the next task.
So I'm going to do pistol, semi-auto.
All right.
And then I have this drop down here.
Mm-hmm.
All of these are drop downs for some reason.
Okay.
At least it's filtering it down to just 9mm.
All right.
And then I'm going to put in a zip code.
Sure.
And then I have two options for some reason, because one's California compliant, but the other one is not.
Okay.
I don't even know why you would bother showing off a California compliant option to a Nevada zip code.
Right.
But then if I go here...
Instant quote, we're still in Gallery of Guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I hit instant
Not
quote
that we ever should have been there, but...
No.
Yeah.
And then...
Processing. Okay.
Now...
These are different companies.
These are completely different companies.
Oh my god, that you could be directed to.
So I went from Wiley Brothers, these guys, and now all of a sudden...
Who are assuming they want to sell products and make money and,
Exactly.
They are in the business of business, I would assume.
My first place is 11 Tactical.
Oh my god. They're at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't get this.
Who duped them into this?
I have no idea.
This is borderline criminality in terms of marketing and e-commerce or even just business, straight up business. This is pretty bad. You're right. This is a pretty bad one. This needs help.
This, all of this.
Shouldn't have even been on this website.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have an API you can query or something to pull their inventory and data. There's something. But there's a way to do this without going to an external website. To keep them on your website and go do this process top to bottom. There's a way.
Yeah, no. what was it? Gearfire. I don't like the Gearfire websites that I've seen thus far because they're kind of bad, and people who set them up seem to not know how to set them up so that they work well on mobile either.
Okay.
But this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, these guys are literally getting ripped off by the people who are supposed to be providing them a wider online selection.
They probably paid for the right, this privilege of...
I'm not entirely sure how this relationship is supposed to work.
I can't imagine.
This, to me, is not working. Like,
I should say so.
If I was Wiley...
If you send me your traffic to come and do a portion of the transaction on my website, and I then present them with 4 other options before you for accomplishing the same thing,
do you know
I would say that's probably bad business.
Yeah, I mean, I would raise unholy hell.
I would rain down hell on this.
These listings should not exist.
Right.
I'm not entirely sure what's going on here.
But Anders would go scorched earth on this. No question.
Because, why?
Egregious comes to mind as a word. It's
why even have this?
I don't know, my friend. I do not know.
I don't get this. I mean,
they need help.
Seriously don't.
They've been misled about how this needs to work, I would imagine, on some level.
Yeah.
And they're gun guys. They're not web guys. They're not marketers.
Oh no, and
this is help.
Something that I've been seeing again and again and again as I've been starting to look in more and more websites for FFLs.
Sure.
There's a lot of stuff that's broken, non-existent.
It's a common problem. Make sense. That maybe they don't even know it was a problem. Maybe they're unaware of that.
No, and they are probably completely unaware that it's a problem, and like some of
and that their sales are being funneled out to other competing companies, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one thing if I just went to Gallery of Guns. It would be one thing if this was the page that I was.
Then it would be their traffic, and they can direct that traffic however they want.
Exactly, but if I'm originating from this website here,
there's a little bit of due diligence that you should expect.
I should only be redirected back to that purveyor.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I'm kind of at a loss of exactly what to say about this because I'm so confused about how this came about. But you may be right. This might be the worst sales funnel that we've ever seen before.
Yeah.
It's literally the worst sales funnel I think I've ever seen.
I mean, this is like...
Funnel them to an external website, then funnel them to 4 of your competitors before you. That's the worst sales funnel in the world.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do not understand that. I really do not.
I really don't either. Let's put this one in the gallery of egregious marketing. Don't ever do this under any circumstances, lest you be shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
This one needs to go down in a museum somewhere. Museum.
Before we wrapped up this evening, I wanted to show you that.
I appreciate it. I'm going to have nightmares now, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah, this was pretty freaking bad.
It's going to haunt my dreams.
This is pretty freaking bad.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Pretty ugly.